Hey guys, it's Kristi. Welcome to my channel. It is practically New Year's and I'm so excited. I still haven't done my Christmas home tour and I know a lot of you want to see that. And I didn't do as much as I thought I was going to do, but it's still worth showing. So I'm gonna do a little home tour today, Christmas home tour. And I figured as long as I got it up before New Year's, it would be okay. But then I am going to show you how I'm going to transform my dining room tablescape into a New Year's tablescape. And I'm going to be using a lot of the elements that I already have on the table. And I'm just going to be changing out a few things to go from Christmas to New Year. So I'm really excited about that. And if you're interested in seeing all of that, then just stay tuned. I'm standing at the front door and this is what you see when you walk in. So the first thing that I'll show you is my entryway table. This is what I did last year or something similar to this and I loved it, so I went ahead and did the same thing again. This red box with the white bow was a thrift store find from several years ago and we just changed the bow on it and I think it turned out beautifully. It's one of my favorite pieces. I love it on this silver Z Gallery tray. And all I did was put it on a little cake stand and then I put these picks around it. And then you can see I also put these lights here. And then underneath the ornament, I just put a few picks that match some of the picks that I'm gonna be using on the Christmas trees or that I used on the Christmas trees. So you'll see those. And then back towards the front door, I have my Christmas tree and then a mat that just says Merry Christmas. So the mat was from Target and this tree is one that we've had for several years. I was planning to decorate it and then things just got crazy with Lacey and it was one more thing that I just decided I liked it with just the lights and it wasn't worth decorating, so I didn't. And then from the entryway, you can also see into our dining room. And again, this is where we keep Lacey's crate. So she's not here right now, but that's where we keep her. So I didn't want to take it out. I'm just going to show you this room with her in it. So I kept the buffet pretty simple. All I did was put these picks into my vase and then put the green bow. I do have a decorate with me, so you can see the decorate with me of the dining room. I'll link it in the description if you want to see in more detail how I put this room together, but I'm just going to kind of go through this room fairly quickly since I already have that for you. For the centerpiece, I just wanted something that was like a winter wonderland, and I love these reindeer. These were from Hobby Lobby. The glass Christmas trees were from a local store this year, and I just think they are beautiful. And I'm using my museum putty to hold those up. I also found these beautiful table runners at Ross this year, and I knew they were gonna be perfect for this room. These were the thrifted plates that I found that are the inspiration for my entire decorating this year. So I always try to thrift for a plate that's going to be my inspiration, and this was it this year. And then this is just my mom's bone china, and I did two different place settings. I did one with the green chargers, and then I have another one over here with the gold chargers, and I like them both. I couldn't decide, so I just decided to do a table where I did a mix. Y'all know, if you've been around for a while, I love mixing and matching on my tables. I just think it adds interest and is so pretty. And then in here, I also have the two Christmas trees, which I just think are so beautiful. I'm gonna step back so you can see. These trees are my favorite thing in the entire house. I think of everything I did, they have to be my favorite. I just love how they turned out. They were so difficult. Let's see, I'm gonna try to get the lighting better. Okay. They were so difficult to do because I needed to try to make them symmetrical since they're on each side of the window as much as possible. And like I said, I'm not gonna go through all the different things on the tree because I did that in my other video. So if you wanna learn more about all the different ornaments and picks I have on the tree, then you can watch that video. But most of the picks were new this year at Hobby Lobby. Some I already had. And then at the top, you can see I just used some of those silver and gold picks. But my ribbon was like my favorite thing this year. I've never been good at doing ribbon, and this was the first year that I felt like I did a really good job with it. I watched a lot of tutorials, and I'm really pleased with how it came out. You can see I had 2 different ribbons that I ended up using on this tree. And I think these tree skirts are another one of my favorites from this year. I just love these. These were also from Ross, and you can see how good the tree skirt looks with the table runners. I think the whole room just came together beautifully. I wanted to go heavy with greens and golds this year, and I think this room is kind of showcasing that. But I'm using all of the traditional Christmas colors just to tie everything together because I knew I was going to be using, you know, all the whites and reds. And you can see on my inspiration plate, it has all of the colors. And these napkins were from HomeGoods this year. Here's a view of the dining room from here, and you can see the butler's pantry where my hot cocoa bar is, but we're gonna come back to that in a minute. When you walk through here, we're gonna go around this corner and you can see what I did at the end of the hallway. So I didn't do anything on this table here much other than right here to this vase. I just added the pine cones and then a few ornaments. And then this reindeer was thrifted a couple of years ago. I spray painted it white and then I added the little bow and the red ornament, and I think it's so cute. So I just put that here because I wanted it to tie in to this little vignette that I did back here. So this reindeer, some of you have asked me about it in the past. This was from HomeGoods several years ago, and I haven't seen them there, I don't think, in the last couple of years. So I started out by just using my piece of furry pillow right here. So this is a pillow cover that I'm using. I want to buy more of those because I think it would be pretty if I just lined the whole shelf with those. And then I'm doing the Christmas tree theme. So I have all of the Christmas trees that you see here. I wanted to do a variety of Christmas trees. So on each side, I'm just using my white placemats with the silver. And then you see the 3 different trees. Oh, and I forgot to turn these on. These turn on and they're so pretty, the acrylic. And at night, they're really, really pretty. And you'll see it's like snowflakes in there. My mom bought these for me a couple of years ago and I just love them. And then one of the ornaments I bought this year were these pine cones. I love the champagne and then the icy look on these. So I just laid those around and I used a couple of my picks to also bring in the green and just some of the red and give it also that snowy look. So I really like how this ended up turning out. It's pretty simple. I do think it would look better if I had more of these and could just lay them all across. So I do think I'm gonna buy some more. Those were from Amazon, so I'm gonna try to find some more of those for next year. This is what it looks like with the lights turned out. It's daylight, so it's still gonna have more light. I turn on my acrylic Christmas trees, and I also wanted to show you how I have these lights, which I got at Target, and you can't see it as well with them turned on. I'll show you another look. You'll see them better on the Christmas tree, but I got some that are round and some that are a different shape, which you'll see on the Christmas tree later. And I like these better than fairy lights. I felt like they gave a lot of glimmer this year. And I was able to use them in such a way that the green strings didn't even bother me. So I have been enjoying those this year, and I'll show you exactly what I bought in a little bit. All right, so we're heading back into the kitchen and the living room. One of my favorite things is the Tablescape. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I'll come around here and show you what I did on the console. Because of Lacey, it just made the decorating so much different this year. I couldn't do a lot of what I would normally do. So you can see I didn't put anything on bottom shelves because she would just get it. It was hard enough keeping her away from the trees. We have boxes that we've been using to block these two entryways so she can't get to those trees while we're in these rooms. But of course I put that away for this tour. So yeah, it's been very different with the puppy trying to get everything decorated. I just used some picks going across. I love these. I've had these for several years and they're some of my favorites. They're very stiff though. So that's one thing when decorating with these, they're not always the easiest to decorate, but in this particular application, I think it worked out beautifully. You've seen this before. I usually would have it on one of the consoles back there. I got this a few years ago at HomeGoods, not HomeGoods, sorry, at Hobby Lobby, and I absolutely love it. And then I got these Christmas trees this year at Hobby Lobby. I thought they were just stunning. Now they will get glitter everywhere, but they are absolutely beautiful. And I think this just made the most beautiful scene. And I liked how it brought in the greenery because I was wanting to do a lot more greenery this year than what I normally do. And it gave it the green look, but also it has the icy look to it that I think ties in perfectly with the silver. And all of that just draws from the white in the background where I have my present boxes. So I was trying to pull that white and all the same color schemes back through here. And then once I did the kitchen table, so I'll go ahead and give you kind of a sneak peek and we'll come back to this in a minute. But once I did the kitchen table, I feel like it tied everything in the living room together. All right, so let's make our way into the living room and I will show you what I have here. I did not put my flowers back in my vases because Lacey's getting taller and she's getting to a point where she can start chewing on those. And so I just didn't do it. On the mantle, I'll go ahead and show you what I did there. All I did this year was put up my garland, and to embellish it, I didn't want to do a lot like I normally do because sometimes stuff falls out and then I didn't want to take a chance of Lacey getting a hold of it. But I did put these white pine cones, and the only reason I did that was because I wanted to tie in what I had done on the consoles with my white on the present boxes, and then all I did was use the larger ornaments on the greenery here, and you'll see I used the white pine cones. So I love these. The white pine cone ornaments are new this year from Hobby Lobby, and I absolutely love them. So I thought it looked great to bring a little bit of white into the mantle, and it just ties all of that together. So here's what the other side looks like. So this one's a little bit longer. So instead of just doing the one ornament, I ended up doing an ornament on each side as well. And then the same thing with the pine cones. On the mantle, the trees are all new this year. The ones in the background are from HomeGoods, and this one is a pear. You'll see the other one is on this side. And I found that at a local shop this year, and I thought they were beautiful. I just love the little pearls that they have on them. They're iridescent. They do light up, but I didn't light them because, you know, it's hard to turn them on and off when they're up there. But I loved those. And then I also found these trees from Hobby Lobby this year. And then my pearl ones, so I just mixed those. And you can see the way you're seeing it now, you can see, but when you're looking at it, you really can't see it. But I just have these up on ribbons and I didn't cover them up. I got very lazy with my decorating this year. It was just not easy to do. Here's a full view of the Christmas tree. I love how it turned out. especially my tree topper. It's leaning a little bit, but it's okay. So these 3 present boxes were from a thrift store a few years ago, and I have been trying to figure out how to use them for the longest time because I absolutely love them. And I love how they turned out on the tree when I decided to use them as the tree topper this year, along with the angel. And she's leaning quite a bit, but it's okay. But anyway, I love this because it ties in all the colors that I'm using this year. And the angel to me signifies just rejoicing over the birth of Jesus, and the present boxes symbolize the gift that we got when he was born. And then I have this ribbon here, which turns out I actually don't like it as much as I thought I would. I liked it because I thought it would tie in all of the colors from the dining room and bring that into this room. But I feel like when you look at it up close, the background looks whiter than when you're at a distance. It turns less white to me and it looks more like cream or gold. And so it just doesn't work as well with my stark whites that I have over here. So I either needed to add more white to the tree or just use a different ribbon. But once I had it on, I was not about to change it at this point. Maybe another year, but not this year. One of my favorite picks this year is this one that it just cascades down. I found this at a local store, and then I used my frosted eucalyptus that I use almost every year in some application because that brought in the white into the tree. And then this pick is something I use throughout all of my decor this year to just tie everything together. I have it in the other trees. And just like in my other tree, I did a lot of pick clusters where I took 2 or more picks and put them together. So here I have these 2, and then here I have the red balls, 2 different types, along with the greenery with the silver, which I thought was really pretty. And then I did the same thing as I did on my other tree. I just used a bunch of picks. I did not end up putting ornaments on the tree. Like I had originally bought the pine cones to put in the tree and some other things, but I just decided with Lacey it would be better if I probably didn't put ornaments. But I'm loving these. This tree, I used the red cluster. I bought a bunch of these at Hobby Lobby this year, and I like how it makes it look like I have ornaments in the tree when I really don't. So this is how it turned out. I got the tree skirt from Ross, and it's just nice and fluffy, and I just wanted something that I wouldn't worry about if Lacey got a hold of it and did something to it. So I really like this one. And then for my pillows, I just went with green, and I like how it turned out. Next year, I might add a little bit of red in it. I don't know. I'm thinking that I liked what I did a lot this year, that I may actually repeat a lot of the elements again next year. And then these are both blankets from Target. They're super soft and comfortable, and I just needed something that would be pet friendly, and I liked both of these, and they have worked well. And then over here, we have Lacey's bed with her little Christmas toys. So she's got her Rudolph and Clarice, and then her little naughty or nice bone. Y'all can decide for yourself what you think she is or what she's been. No. Silly girl. I did not do much in the kitchen, but here I love this. I found this at the thrift store over the summer last year, and I like it. And then all I did was put in some of my stirs that I got. I got a bunch of different ones, and I just think it adds a little bit of color to my wooden spoons. And then I added the Christmas trees and this ornament. So this was from Target this year. It's a candle, but I love it. And then the bottle brush trees are from Hobby Lobby. And then these were thrifted. And so I just put one there and then one here on the other side to tie that together. And like I said, I didn't want to do a lot in the kitchen. I didn't do really anything back here. All I did was put my Christmas tree right here. And I'm gonna show you, this is a little haul that I have and what I'm gonna be using for my table for New Year. So I'll show you that in a minute. But here is the one thing I did in the kitchen. I wanted to do it up big. I love this. I found the sleigh this year at Hobby Lobby. I already had these presents from last year, and those were from Walgreens of all places. Look at this Santa, how absolutely gorgeous he is. He was from Hobby Lobby this year too. I just wanted to bring some trees into this area, or some color into this area. So these are some more of those candles from Target. And then I love my reindeer. So you've seen those before. I've had those for several years from Hobby Lobby. I use them every year in some way. And I thought he just looked so perfect with the sleigh here. And then over here, I just wanted it to look like they were at the North Pole getting ready to take off. And so I just set the little scene. And this pine cone tree was from my mom. She gave it to me this summer when I went to visit. And so I knew I had to use that in some way. And then these other Christmas trees, these silvers are from Hobby Lobby, along with the deer, which I picked up this year at Hobby Lobby. And this was from Walgreens too last year. And it lights up. And then all I did to bring in some of that white and silver and just make it look glittery and snowy, I'm just using this garland. I think I had 2 or 3 strands that I just used around there. And I absolutely love this scene. And I wanted something in here that would tie into my hot cocoa bar, which is back here. And I did kind of a North Pole Santa theme for that. So that was my thought behind what I did on the island. Tablescape is another one of my favorite things, mainly because I have been wanting to do this tablescape for several years now, but I needed to get a lot more of the glass Christmas trees. So when I saw these at Target this year, I could not believe they had these trees in the dollar spot. So all of these smaller trees that you see were from the Target dollar spot, and I am so in love with them. I already had this one from Hobby Lobby a few years ago. I think it was Hobby Lobby. Anyway, these were from Hobby Lobby this year. That was one of my first purchases for Christmas this year. And so I knew that I would be able to do that, but I needed something for the actual centerpiece in the middle of the table. And so I'm using my Pottery Barn pedestal that I picked up last year at the Pottery Barn outlet. And then on that, I'm using my vase, which was from HomeGoods. And I have some fairy lights inside of there. So at night, it just glows and it's so beautiful. And then to tie everything together with all of my other Christmas decorations and pull all the colors in, I'm using some of these picks, which I've used throughout my decor. These are the same picks that I ended up using in the entryway, and the sister picks I've ended up using. I think it all ties together and it brings in all the greens and golds and silvers. I love these picks because it has all of the colors that I'm using in one piece. And then I use these picks in the vase just to give it a little bit of height. And I set it behind the reindeer, and I let the reindeer be the thing with the height. I just think that was the way that it worked best for this. And then this little present box was from the thrift store this year. I think I found it over the summer. And then these gold pine cones were something that I picked up at Hobby Lobby this year, and I just love them. So I just put several picks and just kind of made this design with it. And then I have some in the back as well. I don't normally do garlands on my table, and one of the reasons I don't is because our table is very narrow, and when I do it, it just takes up so much space. I found this mistletoe garland this year at Target, and I knew it was gonna work perfectly with the centerpiece that I had in mind. So I ended up using 4 of these, and I just intertwined them around the Christmas trees. But it wasn't enough, and it didn't bring in all of the colors and it didn't fill in as much as I wanted to. So I came back in and I added these silver picks. And then on top of that, I just put these other picks that, like I said, they have all the different colors, the greens, the golds, the sparkly white, and the red. So it brings all my colors together. So I just spread those throughout, and I think it turned out so beautiful. And at night, all of these trees light up, and they are absolutely stunning.
Breathing air that clears my mind, I'm all for a good start. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. I'm walking around making small talk with people that pass me by. I share a laugh, it gives me joy.
And last but not least, I'm gonna show you what I did for the hot cocoa bar. So here's a look at it, but up top, I don't normally decorate anything at the top of my cabinets, but this year, I thought it would be so neat. I found this elf at Hobby Lobby, the large one, and I just thought he was the best. I knew he would look perfect sitting up on top. This is my Santa Claus North Pole themed hot cocoa bar. So I had those present boxes from before. That sleigh was also a thrifted find. And then I just added some of the Christmas trees, and then inside the sleigh, I'm not sure if you can see, I'm gonna try to raise it up so you can see, I just put that present that I found at Walmart this year, and then also the little bag, and I just puffed it up. So I had the little present bag. But I think it looks so cute, and I like that you can see that. I'm gonna try to come back in here so you can see, like, from the kitchen, you kind of can see that the whole thing is decorated. Now, if you watched any of my earlier videos, my shopping hauls, I had plans for things to do on the wall, and I had even made a wreath for the door, but none of that ended up working out. So this is what we are left with. This Santa was a thrifted find a couple of years ago. I added this pick to him that was not part of the original Santa, but he was the inspiration for this whole hot cocoa bar. And my dad used to love Christmas, and he loved playing Santa Claus. He would always pretend to be Santa Claus and, like, call us on the phone pretending to be Santa Claus and all kinds of things. So he loved it. He would always sing Santa Claus is coming to town. It was like his favorite thing. So I knew he would love this. And so I did this in his honor. So this is all for my dad because I knew he would just love it if he were still here. So I started out by putting some of this faux snow at the bottom. And then I just wanted it to look like you were at the North Pole. So I have my candle holder, which I've had for many, many years. And I just put that in the background, and I love it with the Santa and the snowman. And then these canisters I found at HomeGoods this year. So I love those to just put my hot cocoa and my collagen powder in, or marshmallows, or whatever you would want to put in there. And then I love the little Santa mugs. And in this one, I have our peppermint for a hot cocoa bar. So I love that they have the little lids on them that you can use it. And then you'll see I just put some picks in the back just to bring in a little bit of color. And like I said, my dad used to always sing Here Comes Santa Claus, so I thought that would be the perfect little thing. This box was from Walmart, and it's just a little gift card box. And if you watch that video, you'll see that I had a lot of things in there that are just little ornaments. So that's what most of this is. The sleigh that you see in front here was a thrifted find from a few years ago. I thought the colors just worked beautifully. These are some of those picks that I got from Walmart, and these are from Hobby Lobby. Now let me tell you about these little snowmen that you see everywhere. So first of all, let me tell you, this is just a little tier tray that I've had forever, and I just added a few of these lint truffles in them. I think they're the lint truffles. And then I just put the little snowmen here because I thought it was so cute just to have these little snowmen all around everywhere on here. And these are actually from a light. If you see the little hole in the top, I have found a strand of lights that I had from years and years ago, and it had all these snowmen, and I thought, well, these would be perfect. So I just pulled the snowmen off, and they are perfect to sit on my hot cocoa bar. And all of my little Christmas trees, the bottle brush Christmas trees, were from Hobby Lobby. And then here's where I just brought in a little color here, and all my little ornaments. I just wanted it to look, like I said, like a village, like you're at the North Pole, and here's your little Christmas village. I found these two little houses. This was the snowman skate and then the reindeer one. So I found those at HomeGoods this year, and I just think it's perfect. And then the Holly Jolly and Merry Everything, I already had those mugs. And then these two I found this year, and I absolutely love the little spoons. So yeah, those are just perfect. Oh, and then these are just some marshmallows from Target in their Wonderland area that they sell every year. And the thing about marshmallows is they just kind of dry out, and they're great to do that. I love my top hat. And then this little dog I found at a local Christmas store this year. And of course I had to get her. So that's my little lacy ornament up there. And then the train and the Christmas trees. To me, that's so Christmassy, North Pole. So I didn't do all the candy like I did last year, but I love this when I walk by. Just like last year, it just makes me happy. And like I said, this one reminds me of my dad too. So I have to show you this. And this is something that my mom did for me. One of my Christmas gifts from my mom. As you can see, it's Santa Claus holding an ornament. And I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute so you can see it better. But when I told her what I was doing for my hot cocoa bar, she decided that she would pick up the paintbrush again and paint this for me. She came up with the idea. And so it's Santa holding the ornament. And in the ornament, you'll see it's some trees, and then right here is the North Star. And if you can tell from here, there is a man and a dog. And so the whole idea of this, it's my dad and Ace, our first dog, looking at, I said the North Star, the Star of Bethlehem. So they're looking at the Star of Bethlehem, and like it brought them together. And so that was, my mom painted that. She just sent it to me the other day. So I need to get a frame for it. I think I'm going to frame it, and next year I will hang it up. I absolutely love it. She hasn't painted in a while, so I was excited to know, first of all, that she painted something again. And this is just so special because of Ace and my dad, and just kind of the story and the meaning behind what she did, and just knowing how much my dad loved Christmas. And I think this whole thing of me doing this hot cocoa bar and knowing that my mom painted that would just make him so happy. Here's a close-up of the picture so you can see Santa holding the ornament. And then there's the ornament with my dad and Ace. And like I said, that's supposed to be the Star of Bethlehem right there. And if you can see how she even put the cardinals in the tree, I just think it is so beautiful. That's everything I decorated this year for Christmas. It wasn't as much as I wanted to, but it was okay. You know, it was a lot harder to do with Lacey around than I had expected, but that just gives me something to look forward to. Next year, I can try to add on to what I did this year. But like I said, I am thinking I'm going to keep some of the things the same because I really like the way my consoles in the front turned out. And I don't think it is going to be bad to have like a couple years where maybe I do the same thing. And I really liked my dining room tablescape. So I might even recreate the same tablescape next year. I don't know, because I love this tablescape, but y'all know just in general, I love my tablescape. So I'm saying that, but who knows what I'll decide by next year. And it'll partially depend on if I find a beautiful plate that I just have to have. And speaking of plates, I went to HomeGoods yesterday and I racked up. So I want to show you what I found. I'm going to do a quick little haul of what I found yesterday. And then we are going to get to this dining room table and change it out for New Year's. First of all, look at these gold chargers. Unfortunately, they only had one set that I could find. And I say that I could find because sometimes they're not always in the same location and you just kind of have to look around to find the amounts of something that you want. But this was all I could find in this, but I just love it. This is so versatile. I will be able to use these in so many applications, but there were only one set of 4 and I'm looking for the price. So these were $12.99. And then you can already see in the background, look at these. I love these. I had been looking for something like this and I like it because I'll be able to use it as like a candle holder all by itself without the cloche, or you can use it with the cloche. And there's just so many things you can do with this. So these were made in India and I was looking for the price, but I already know it was $10 a piece. And I know that was an investment to get 6 of them, but like I said, I will be able to use these in so many ways. But 3 of these are this more modern look. And then the base on these is a more traditional look. So I love the mix and match. And then back here, I just pulled these things to use on my tablescape for New Year's. But look at this plate. So this was another set that I found and I kept one of them together so you could see, because I wanted to show you the price and everything. So $17 for this. It's kind of a goldish, silvery, it's like a mix of gold and silver, and they're just beautiful. So here's what it looks like there. And then, so anyway, I was able to get 2 sets of these. And I wanted 2 sets because I need to be able to have at least 6 plates to do this table. And then I found these, which are platters, but I am using these as chargers. So I love these oversized plates that you can use as chargers. And I think this is absolutely a beautiful pattern that I'm going to be able to use in so many applications. I'm going to actually set it on the table so you can see. So look at this. Now, this could be used at Christmas time. This can be used winter, summer, I think the whole year round. So I absolutely love that. And I can't wait to show you how I'm going to use it. And then I also found these plates. I'm trying to get in where the light's better so you can see. So this is just a metallic silver design, and these are porcelain plates, and I thought that worked perfectly together. So I have so many options of what I can do with this. And then I picked up 6 of those. And then I don't usually get complete sets of dishes in the same pattern or color. Just because I feel like there's so much versatility to buy just one or the other, but I felt like this would look really nice together. I just loved this pattern so much, and I think there's so many uses for it year round that I just thought it would be nice to have both options on this one. And then last but not least, I found this, and I think it is absolutely stunning. And I want to show you a little application here, what you could do, and just show you how it would actually look on this particular table. So say you did something like that, and look at it for Christmas. You could use this at Christmas. I'm thinking Valentine's, who knows? But I just wanted to show you how pretty that looks with my tablescape that I have. So yeah, and I like the center of it. I love that too. So there's times where I might use it just the plate as it is, the whole thing. But sometimes I might just want the red and gold and black part of it showing. And I just think that looks so regal and gorgeous.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
Okay, I pulled most everything off of the table that was green and looks Christmassy. I ended up pulling all of the silver pieces off as well, which these are going to go back on the table in some way to bring in that New Year vibe. But I want to get all the green off. But I did want to show you, this is what the garland looked like before I had added all of the embellishments to it. And even with the green trees, it of course filled out the table more. But you can see that it wasn't a lot to it. And I just thought it looked a lot better with the embellishments that I did with adding the other picks. So I still need to come in and take out these picks. So I'll do that. And I'm going to leave these, I believe, and it'll just be this for the centerpiece, and then I'm gonna have to come in and fill in some more on my pedestal.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne?
Here's what I'm left with on the table, and I know it looks fairly bare and it doesn't look like I'm starting with much. And I said it was going to be an easy transition, so this is all the stuff I pulled off of the table. But I promise you it is going to be an easy transition because it took me just minutes to pull all that off. And now I'm just going to do a little bit here. I'm just going to add in some more pine cones here. I might add a few more picks into this to make it fuller since I took all the other picks out. But the one thing I'm leaving is this little present box. And even though it has the red and a little bit of green in it, I still want to use it because it's all the right colors. And I feel like the gift box to me just kind of symbolizes the beginning of a new year and the gift that is. So I just want to leave that, but you'll see what I end up doing with this and what I'm going to do with my dishes back there. And I'll bring in a few other things. It's going to be totally transformed, but still have a very similar vibe to it. And I think it's going to be beautiful. And of course, you know me, the one thing I want to make sure of is that it still is going to work with all of my Christmas decor. So even though I'm pulling out the reds and the greens and it'll have a different vibe, very much of a New Year's vibe, it's still going to work with all of my Christmas.
And days of old lang syne, for old lang
Happy New Year! It's New Year's Day and I have transitioned my tablescape from Christmas to New Year's. It got late the other night, it got dark, so I ended up just cutting it off. And then yesterday, I was working on editing the video, getting it ready for you. And we did eat at the table last night, and I've reset the table for today. Just because I love having it decorated, and I needed to show you because I did not film the other night because it got dark. So it was such an easy transition, although it took me a little bit longer than I thought it would, just trying to figure out exactly what I wanted on the centerpiece, but I love how it came out. I did not end up putting too much on the place settings. I didn't do flatware or glasses just because I didn't want it to busy up the table too much. Although I think with some glasses, it did look pretty. It's just that I did feel like it made it a little busy and took away from the centerpiece a little bit. Here's a look at the tablescape, my little helper over there. Lacey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sally, you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? Oh, yeah, like you always do. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Good girl. All right, so here's the tablescape with the Christmas in the background, because I want to just show you how it blends in with everything. All of these colors work with all my Christmas colors since I use the traditional. I have a lot of white and gold going on anyway. And no telling what she's off to. I don't know if you saw her running back there. But here's a look at the table. I love how it came out. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Lacey, no. Nuh-uh. Hey, come here. Come here. Lacey. I gave her a bone to chew on so we can get back to the table. So here's the table. I love how it came out. I used all of my mercury glass Christmas trees, and in the center for the centerpiece, I just added my Happy New Year hats, and then just some of my picks that I had for Christmas in the gold and silver. So you can see here, I did the pine cones and just some of my gold picks that were like my other silver picks. And then for the actual centerpiece, I just added the curly cues to give it a little festive touch. I think it came out so pretty, and some of the pine cones and the curly cues. And then down at the bottom, I embellished it a little bit more. I think the ribbon that I used and then all of the little curly cue picks just make it look very festive. I wish I would have had a 2022 pick to put in here, but I didn't. I still think it looks great though. So I'm just gonna take you down and let you see the table, and then you can see the place settings. I ended up using my cloches on the place setting, which I think is so pretty, and inside, I just put one of my little silver picks, which I think is so pretty and festive. And I used my horns with my black napkins. I think it came together beautifully. I love the combination of colors here with the golds and the blacks and the silvers. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And some of my horns were silver, so I put those in the center, and I used the gold ones on the outside. And then I did use some fairy lights throughout the center, so at night it lights up and it's just really pretty. I wanted to use the gold chargers almost like a placemat, and then I'm using the larger plate here as my charger plate. But I only had 4 of the gold chargers, so I left it off of the middle section, and I still think it looks beautiful. I am gonna continue to look for more of these. So between HomeGoods and TJ Maxx and Ross, I might be able to find some similar, if not just like it, later on. So the thing about those is you can always keep looking for something like that when you find it at those types of stores.
Be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne?
I know my Christmas home tour was late, but I hope you enjoyed seeing that and my New Year's tablescape. I'm so excited about 2022. I'm looking forward to a fabulous year this year, and I'm wishing you all of the best this year. I hope that all of your dreams come true and that this year is filled with love and joy throughout the entire year for you. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all of the things. I'm gonna have lots more videos coming out for you in 2022. So if you like this content, then I would love it if you would subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
For days.